Finding melodic techno elements that work. I guess that is today's video. So let's go do it right now. Hey, check it out, I'm Analog Kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, do not hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell, because whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you will not miss out on anything. Stick around till the end of this video. I'll tell you all about Patreon, Discord, tell you about the community. I will tell you about the Kitchen Club. We've got a couple of events coming up, so it's going to be a fun-filled program today. Now, as my setup is always changing, I am condensing it down to a skeleton setup because I want to just travel around. I want to be flexible. There's new gear, there's new insights and stuff. I think that's the most dominant thing in my whole progress, is that my insights on how I work it, how I perform it, it constantly changes. And the cool part about it is I find new elements to make this thing that we all know and love work. The thing I want to get into today is just how much do you need? I mean, I still keep sparsing out my tracks. More stuff I'll just take out and I'll just try to just make do with a few ingredients, but you have to find working elements. It has to just like resonate immediately with your end user, the people on the dance floor, you guys out there just having a good time. I mean, you expect the performer to be on top of his or her game. So obviously I'm trying to just come up with elements that really work. Out of the gate, they need to just like work quick and fast. Now, instead of the just like long, extended melodic techno bass line that I am going to address today, I'd like to just give you a bit of a variety there. There's a few things that I do think you need in order to get yourself going with a track like that. Obviously, I'm going to start with an arpeggio, but the thing is, yeah, there is a MIDI fighter twister in the mix today, which I got hooked up to the black box. It's early days with the 1010 black box for me, but at the moment it looks like a winner. So there's the MPC-1, the subsequent, the 1010 black box, and then there's the small MIDI fighter, and it all goes through a DM10 mixer. So you can't get any more sparse than that setup now, can you? Now, if you're ready, come and join me to my humble setup, and let's see if we can get into some elements today, shall we? Let's go. All right, gang, it's that simple. The setup is very, very, very sparse today. I've got only a few elements on the table because I can imagine that sometimes you press for money, or sometimes you're traveling, you just don't want to bring like a lot of stuff. So there's three things that I have sitting on the table and one controller. There's the Akai MPC-1, very powerful machine. It works. I've only got like the MIDI setup, because as the 1010 black box has only been in my possession for a short amount of time, I did not really have the time to figure out how to just work the MIDI and get the subsequent working with it yet. So I was thinking, you know what, let's go back to the Akai, because in the end of the day there's a lot of stuff that I can do with the Akai, and I love the way it sequences and it does stuff. So I can imagine that this being a sampler, this just being like, you know what, more of a workstation, I'll just stick with the USB MIDI kind of route and just like do it that way. Now, what I've got is this track that I built up of a few elements. Now, again, there's another machine sitting right over here, which is a MIDI fighter. This MIDI fighter is absolutely amazing controller, which controls filters on the 1010 Music black box. Now, a good melodic techno track, in my opinion, good techno track or good track starts with a little bit of melody, right? So before you start to divulge where everything sits and throw everything away fast, this is how I just like think on, you know, let's just like work that track in a little bit. So I'm building tension. So I'm the one warming up a gig, or I'm playing after somebody who's like been very energetic, or you know, I just need to get a feel for the room or the vibe or the festival or whatever first. I'll just throw in an arpeggio because it builds suspense. This is the first element that I think is very important. I'll try to just like program my arpeggio in such a way that it will always do two things. Now, this arpeggio has got a lot of envelope generation on it, but you will not hear it once I've filtered it down to the max. So now three things are happening. First, it's very soft. You'll hear it first start to increase in amplitude. First, listen to this. Let's go down again, go back. So the first part of the sound is amplitude. It will only get louder first. But as I open up the filter, which I like the filter on the 1010, listen to what's happening to the percussive nature of the initial sounds. Here the mid-range starts to just like bite at you, you know? Now I'm going to open it up fully so you understand what's going on. Obviously when I'm building up a track, I would never do that in the beginning of the track. But then you hear what we're working with, right? And then there's reverb here. There's so much stuff that's happening on this filter. But with the 1010, once you go past 12 o'clock, it starts to become a high pass instead of a low pass. So start to chip away from the bottom end. Listen to this. And here it does the opposite thing, right? So you're just like buried in the background. So, but I never ever use a high pass on a sound like this because I will give away too much of the music information, right? So I'm going to go down. So there you go. I want people to hint at what is playing. I want you to, you know, get curious, because once you get curious, you will remain a faithful part of the audience, and that's what I want, at least if you're dancing. So, okay, that's my arpeggio. So I'm building it up, right? So I'm thinking, okay, what is next? On the 1010 black box, as you can see, there's two pads that I've got on the top row, which is the music. Underneath there are risers, 4 of them. Then underneath there's a crash by It's Lonesome, and on the bottom is just loops. The first one in the corner right here is the kick drum, and then there's a Italo house loop, which brings us instantly into the 80s. Then there's a bit of a groovy kind of vibey loop that I use to just keep you in that hamster wheel, and then there's a trance loop that just is there for adrenaline, because there's a crash that comes every other measure, so that is a bit too much to just throw in at the beginning. So, but there's a lot of information that I can do, and there's a lot of adrenaline that I can build. So those elements are very important. When you will play them is up to if the crowd allows you to just like take them that far, or you know what I mean. So the next thing that I'm going to do, now that you know what my filter is doing, is like play around with the levels of the kick. The kick is on my DM12 mixer right here. I'm going to play around with the levels. So I'm going to play it first. So now that clip is launching, it's going. So now I'm going to open this up. But the thing is, out of the two sounds that are climbing up, the kick needs to be the dominant one, and you've already heard that there's a lot of steps on this arpeggio, so you need to be careful what you're doing. So I'm opening up my kick. Here it comes. And behind the kick, I'm going to like have this follow, yeah, right? This arpeggio. But it gets loud fast, so you need to just like be careful with the kick drum. There you go. Once you hear the belly of the kick, this is what I call it. There you go. Now I can start to safely open up. Yeah, let's leave it there. Let's play that tech loop. I think this is a successful introduction. We're instantly knowing we're going in a certain direction, right, with this track, so we're thinking like, okay, cool. Okay, by now, since I've got the stuff sitting over here, it wouldn't it be cool to just play something with it? And I've got this thing on helicopter mode. So when I'm playing stuff, helicopter mode meaning that LFO is doing something. Because again, now that I've given away all the music information here, the next sound that I'm going to play needs to be coming out of the darkness again. Now, play the long note. Close the LFO up a little bit. Play one of my rises here. Got a kick. Nice. Play another loop. Now I'm instantly starting to just go like, okay, yeah, you know, we're moving. Very 80s. You can hear the Lindrum sounds flying all over the room. Nice one. Now the trick that I have right now as well is I'm not playing any chord progressions as of yet. And it might be a cool thing to introduce one chord progression. So that's how we're going to do it. Here you go. And because I want the attention on the chorus, this is OB6 by the way that I've programmed and I've sampled. I'm going to take that arpeggio down again so we can fully focus on those nice dreamy pads that we have here. Yeah, let's see if we can play one of those rises and build this stuff up nice and smooth. Filter down the subsequent because we're going to need him in a second, or her. Riser. One. Keep the loop going. Open this up. Build tension, build tension. There's another loop that's playing right now. With the crash like. Yeah, nice one. By now, I'm reintroducing that arpeggio. Lowering the filter here. Now I'm going to play a bass line. Helicopter time. Ah, nice one. Let it kick now. Oh. Taking out that loop. Now let's lower that sound again. And the arpeggio. Go to a different sound maybe. Nice one. Sounds coming from the MPC-1. What I love about it, it's a hype synth. Now I just opened up the arpeggio and you didn't even hear it coming because listen to this. It's pretty much the same frequency, so I'm opening up this. Listen how this arpeggio disappears into the background. So this you use as a drop obviously. Lower the filter, open up the kick with the arpeggio. And then focus yourself on the arpeggio again. Hopefully this is going to set you up in finding melodic techno elements that would work for you. Let me know in the comment section below how you work it. I'm always keen to hear and learn from you guys as well. And talking about community-based stuff, do and try and join up at Patreon. You won't be breaking the back and it'll be cool. We're building a community there and it's growing and growing, not even that. We're performing as well. So with my concept called the Kitchen Club, obviously, we travel around. We've got Paradigm, Groningen confirmed. There's one coming up in a few weeks, which is going to be in warm Rotterdam. Well, that's absolutely amazing. So resident Khalil, also fine vinyl DJ, he's going to set stuff up over there. So we've got our little community-based people out there, and Lucas D Sound is going to be playing soon. I know for a fact that Yellow Berlin is playing, so the patrons do get around to play, because I do think it needs to be done in a market conformity sort of way. I mean, if I tell you stuff and you end up joining up in this community, wouldn't it be cool to just like be out there and play? You know what I mean? We had Tough Chunks, we had Locte, we had like loads of people. Holy Thursdays, I think, is coming and flying out this time again, coming from London. So this community is vibrant, it's going, it's growing, and I'm proud of it. The Kitchen Club is a really cool concept where it's not so much the bigger names that we just book, it's just us, you guys and myself, and we just we get on. So whenever you're in the neighborhood, or we might even frequent a theater near you, don't be a stranger, come and say hello if we're in your neighborhood. Now, I guess that concludes our video for today. I'm still working on that mixer, doing that with also one of the patrons, with Christian Vossen. We're just trying to set that up, trying to come up with parts. That's a cool thing as well. Still making music, that's cool. Going to release some stuff on vinyl as well. So just like keep watching this space. It's going to be amazing right now. If you made it this far into the video, you are an absolute superstar. I'm Melodic Techno, and I'll catch you next week. You know where, on another video. You know what? Stay safe, and Melodic Techno out!